Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 22 on the year. I'm all about providing value, and I want to allow you and help you learn things and grow and actually implement some of the things that we talk about. So, before we even get into it, I want to remind you make sure you go to connectionmachine.biz, bookmark it for anything insurance that you are looking for, connections, or my video mentoring program. If you're looking to lose some weight, feel better in your clothes, check out my website for fitness transformation. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell on this YouTube channel. I want to bring on my guest, a friend of mine that we have had a lot of times. We've been having conversations on the phone, but now we're finally going to put something together and have us, collaborate. I want you, Tom, to give us an introduction of who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, Shawn, thank you for having me on. My name is Tom Nikolaidis. I am a home inspector. I'm the owner of Safeguard Home Inspectors, and we offer home inspection services, radon, termites, wood destroying insect services for the pretty much tri-state area, but specifically northern New Jersey. I'm also a school teacher. I've been a teacher for 14 years. I teach currently STEM, which is predominantly wood shop, something that I think has kind of the technical skills that have left education and now have come back, fortunately. So, so that's what I do. I mean, I do many things. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. And thank you for having me on. And I look forward to sharing and talking with you today.
No, it's something that a lot of people have the fear. They don't want to get in front of the camera, spill the beans, talk about themselves. But we're going to talk about things that are going to help others. I love that you're a dad. Can you share how has that changed you becoming a dad?
Well, I'm sure it's a loaded question. I'm sure any father, any parent can tell you. I feel like I kind of woke up. I was like reborn again the moment my son was born 4.5 years ago. My son Troy. It's a great thing. I get to kind of experience life again through his eyes. Kind of use him as an excuse to act like a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And enjoy it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And enjoy the time together with my wife, and enjoy watching him grow up and be together. It's great. It really is a great thing. I can count probably on one hand the amount of times that I've missed putting him down to sleep. So it's important. It's a really important part of my life, and it's part of who I am personally, but professionally as well.
I'm glad you said that, because people, guys in general, dads in general, some are into becoming a great dad. Some want to be there and want to watch and observe, and it's an awesome thing to do. And there's other dads who just want to work, and it's great that you're able to mesh it, have fun with our kids, work, earn an income, and have fun with our families, rather than I don't see my dad, he's never around. That's not what I want to be. And I want to be active. That's when I got involved with more fitness as well. So I'm more of a mentor. I'm always going to be able to run around with them, rather than, oh, my back hurts. Oh, this hurts. Oh, that hurts,
I think absolutely. I mean, I think the happiness that I'm able to bring to my life is because I was able to find, balance in my personal life, my family life, my professional life. And, as an educator, I have time to explore that passion with my students, work with them. And then I also have, the time to explore other passions as well, which is namely home inspection as of late. So it's really, balance is an important part of creating that lifestyle that will bring you happiness.
Yes. And the happiness will come if you keep plugging away. And it's great that you were saying that you're a STEM teacher. You are doing it for a number of years, but then you also have a side hustle. Now, What made you get involved with becoming a home inspector?
I mean, that's a that's a question. So I guess I've always had interest in technical things. Um, in my schooling as a teacher, one of my passions is working, with wood and woodworking with my students and transforming lumber into beautiful, useful things. So that in itself, lends itself to a certain set of skills that I'm able to transfer. And then I would say the other thing probably is becoming a homeowner. So in 2015, my wife and I bought a home in Ringwood, New Jersey, and for me, it was the first time I really needed to kind of pay attention to all these responsibilities. And I loved it. I loved, taking ownership of the property and making it look nice and learning about it, and fixing things. I think one of the most important things that any homeowner can do is kind of know when you need to call in the pros, but also you'll be willing to put in the time to learn about your home and to be able to fix those problems that are certainly manageable. And now we moved out of that original house, which I did love. I mean, once we had Troy, we realized that it wasn't really child conducive. I mean, it was beautiful. It was right on a lake, but we were on a cliff, so that's kind of a no-no. But we're in another home now, and the same thing. Just being able to learn about this new home and to maintain it, and I think it's something to be proud of, but also something important for all homeowners to be cognizant of and be able to take care of their home.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people sometimes don't even use a home inspector when they're going to buy a house, and it's crazy because I found I've used them before. Is important to uncover some of the issues that you might have. It's not there to, oh, let's put an offer in. You can't do this in today's world. Put an offer in and then go get a home inspection done and say, oh, I want this, and this all fixed before I go with this deal. That doesn't happen at this market right now. But it's something that you should always know what you're going into. If there's some major things like a septic, or there might be, a water leaking somewhere, you have to find these little issues that if you could fix, like you said, with a professional, that's the way to go. It's not just all right, I'm going to put a whole list of bad things that I don't like about this house, and I want this seller to pay for it all. Like, come on.
Yeah, those. I mean, you're right. This market does not lend itself to that. Home inspections are very valuable for a prospective buyer for a number of reasons. Obviously, in this market, identifying those things that are really kind of stand out, structural issues, things that will cost a lot of money in the short term, and obviously your buyer would be interested in knowing that. I would say though that the market is slightly turning.
Mm-hmm.
It was not too long ago. There was basically no leverage on the buyer's end of things, but that's not necessarily the case now. So there is some like equalization of the market. But in addition to learning about the big things, it's important for you to walk into this home and know, okay, I got a list of things that I need to take care of.
Right.
You never should walk into a home and expect, oh, this is perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect. You can ask any home inspector.
Even brand new homes, like brand new homes, is always something that you could find.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's invaluable information for a buyer to have, perhaps to gain some credit, perhaps to negotiate, certainly to know those safety issues, certainly to know those big structural issues, but also just to recognize like, hey, once I move in here, I need to address that. That's something that right now I could live with, but I'm just going to put it on my to-do list. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but if I were to move into a house, I would like to know what I need to, manage, and then I'll be able to look at my, my finances, look at
Mm-hmm.
my schedule, and say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Here's my, I'm going to triage this and make a plan so that you can, keep up with this really, wonderful investment that you've just made, and more importantly, maintain it, because that's equally important.
Yeah, you got to know what any of the issues that are going on. We're fine. You open up a wall, you open up plumbing, things happen, and that's all part of it. Maybe the roof you got to check out. All these important things. It's very key for going into purchasing a home. So definitely something to. If you have questions, those that are watching, and if you're watching live, drop a comment. Watching if you're hashtag live, where are you watching from? If you have questions for us, we could definitely get back to you after the live as well. I want to find out where and how are you generating your opportunities right now for business?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So my business typically comes from, realtors. So I would work with realtors. So initially, when I got started, I went out there and I introduced myself, and I shared with those realtors what I do, what my style is, and they're basically, they'll ask you straight up, "Are you a deal killer?" It's like, well, no, I'm not a deal killer. I tell the facts. This is what it is, and you know, I think they realize that if you're honest and you're working for the client, and they are working for the same client, right? And once they detect that honesty, they're far more inclined to continue to work with you. So one of the things that I did initially was to work with these realtors, seek them out, let them know that I exist, and then get the calls from them. They'll give me a chance. At first, I won't be number one on their list. I'll be number two. But then, once their volume increases, they'll try me out. And then all of a sudden, hey, Tom was really good. Let's have him back. And then they'll tell the other people and the other realtors in their office. And then before you know it, I'm starting to get, real calls from realtors. Additionally, I'm getting calls from, previous clients and friends of those clients, and they know how well, we took care of them during their journey, because that's what it is. That's part of what I enjoy about this as well, is being part of this really exciting, often stressful, but
Yeah.
really exciting, time of their lives. So if you recognize that, you're going in to help them through this time, and get them to realize their dreams, it is kind of exciting in that respect. So I'm at the point now where, between the realtors are calling me, I'm getting clients and friends of clients and previous clients, and now I'm getting like native referrals. That's where I'm drawing the business. So yeah, it's exciting to be able to go out on a job, meet new people, work with them to help them realize their goals, and basically problem solve every day. Every home is different. You never know what you're going to walk into. And, you just try to do the best you can, and answer all the questions that you can. So.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Here's a question. I like where everyone talks about their wins. Is there any failures that you've had in your past, business, personal, that you want to share for those that are watching?
Hmm.
Because I liked what you said before, and as you can probably think right now as I'm talking, but being number two, in someone's eyes, people think, oh, that's a bad thing. No, you're waiting for an opportunity to come your way, and you seize that opportunity and rock it out. Some people, they just keep pressuring people, trying to sell all the time, and they have clientele they never go back to,
Yeah.
and that could backfire for you. And it's important to always be on top of your game and providing good service so that people learn from you and you continue on your way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure everyone can say they've experienced, bad things or things they've learned from. But I always remember my uncle told me when I was younger, he always said, all experiences, regardless of if they're good or bad, they're good. Because from the bad ones, you need to grow. From the bad ones, you need to learn. Um, and I mean, throughout my life, I've basically, the life that I've created now is me wanting to pursue the happiness and create it for my life, right? So there are things that I tried in my life. Like, for example, when I was in college, I did some lab work, And I realized that I was just like so secluded from humanity. And I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely horrific. But I'm grateful that I had that experience then and there, because I was able to kind of change my trajectory in life and continue on a path to help me find what I want to do. Explore those passions and basically create your own happiness, which
I
is
like that. I like that a lot. I mean, everything we go through, we're going to have things that are not the greatest. We have to learn from it, reflect on it. And if it's something that bad happened, reflect so it doesn't happen again. That's a key thing, like if it keeps happening, shit always keeps happening the same way over and over. Something's wrong with you because you're not reflecting on it. So it's important to take that information, take the data, take the, what is happening to you and learn from it. Because when I was coaching, we would lose, but it's not losing, you're learning, because it sucks to lose, but you
yeah.
actually are a better person, and sports allow you to grow as a human being because all the skills you learn as you're going through your experiences.
Right. Yeah, I'm at the point now where like I'm able to offer some sage advice. I mean, I work as you know, I'm a home inspector, but I also am a school teacher. So I'm used to working with like 13, 14-year-olds, and it's to hear them, have a full vision of what they think their life is going to be. It's heartwarming.
Yeah,
But I don't want to be the one to say, well, chances are,
right.
it's far more effective to kind of just let life happen and kind of move with it and kind of adjust as it does. I'm not saying having plans is bad, but certainly being amenable to change is pretty valuable also.
Because yeah, I mean, in our example, for my wife and I have three girls, and we just found out we're having a fourth kid. It's actually a boy. And that we were like, what the hell? What are we going to do? How are we going to pay for stuff? But it's a challenge that we're going to overcome. It's going to be fine. And it's something that, you live, you have your happiness. I work so I can spend more time with my family, my wife, my kids, my, immediate family, brothers. If my brother just moved out to Indiana, so I don't see him for a past year. I see him on FaceTime, but it's something that I want to cherish all my relationships that I have. Here's
Absolutely.
something I would love for you. If you ask me a question, I usually have all the questions. Ask me a question before we turn off our conversation.
All right, I got a good one for you. It's actually really timely, pun intended. Tomorrow morning, I am sealing with my students a time capsule that is to go back into the earth for 25 years. We actually dug it up 2 years ago. Uh, it was buried in 1995. We dug it up in
Huh.
2020. Yeah. And we created this whole lesson reflective of the past, thinking about the future, looking at today. But we're putting it back in the ground tomorrow morning. I guess my question to you, I'm sorry to get all philosophical on you,
No,
Shawn,
this is awesome.
is what advice would you give to the future generations if they were to open up the time capsule 25 years from now? And what advice would you give to that future generation based on your life experiences?
I think whatever it is in life, you have to be as consistent as hell, as consistent as you can be. And I would tell people you have to be focused on your health because I believe health is wealth. Because if you're in shape, you're going to feel better about you personally. You're going to feel better because you have more energy. So you can do more business or whatever, teach or whatever lifestyle you're involved with. Be a better parent, be a better brother, husband, but being consistent is a key thing with everything because it takes time for things to work. I know with video, it took 6 months before I started seeing people calling me from what I was putting out into content. And my wife's like, why are you doing this? I knew the more I put out there and I'm giving value. It's not just me. It's giving to others, helping others. It's going to come back in droves. And the more consistent you're with your health, your calls, your managing your time, spending time, and actually being in the moment with your kids and your family every day, trying to do that, watch how your life explodes. And it's not all about money. It's being consistent on what you want to do on a daily. I mean, currently, I'm basically just a mortgage. That's all I have. I don't have credit card debt. I have nothing. We have money saved. We're investing. I'm not into that, but the consistency, I believe, is a very key thing. And when times are tough, people like to quit. I shared your wife was part of this journey. You were part of it as well. My daughter had a liver transplant May 10th, 2019, and I shared this, and people were like, "Wait, why?" And I consistently was doing video, going back to being consistent, because other people don't share things that are going bad in their life, but you can now connect with somebody. And I'm not going to be BSing you on my business because you know what I've been through. But people don't have the courage to put that stuff out there because they believe, oh, it's not meant to be on social media. It is. The more we put out there, we can learn from experiences.
Absolutely. Good advice. I like it.
I mean, it's just, being a teacher as well, giving it information, you hope only one is really going to take that information or our advice and actually use it. Everyone else will be like, you don't know, you're full of shit. And then 20 years from now, they're like, damn, I remember when Ziem was talking about this or Tom was talking about that. And they knew what they were talking about, but it just takes them too much longer. But there's one that we're going to really, focus in on, and they'll take our advice and be successful. And those are the ones I want to come back. I love the ones that come back and they're like, oh, what are you doing? Nothing. I want to hear you're married, you have a career, you have a lifestyle that's going on, not just, what do they have a career day the other day? And I remember the it was a Marine that was speaking. He's like, there's 4 things you get out of, this is what we could end on. 4 things you can do after high school. Go to military, go to college. Actually it could be 5. Be a trade school, maybe get into some kind of field for work. The last one was being a bum, and we don't want you being a bum, but that's a cool thing for some kids. They want to be doing nothing and getting paid. We don't want those bums. We want you being successful. That's a key thing. And no, Tom, this has been phenomenal. I appreciate you coming on. Those that are watching, we have still 7 of you still popping on there. That's awesome. If you guys have questions for us, drop them in the comments. We'll definitely comment you back. And the algorithm on YouTube is all about commenting. A lot of people on social media, all they do is like things. Please drop comments and share. That helps us help other people because other people are seeing our content. And let's see, there's one comment I just saw here. Oh, caught the second half. Going to watch it later on the replay. Jake Soja, if you ever need a painter, he was on the show earlier a couple weeks ago. So definitely, Tom, I appreciate you coming on. And those that are watching, we hope you have an awesome day.
Thank you, Shawn. Thanks for having me.